In today's society, we spend more time than ever at home and indoors. It's more common to watch TV for entertainment, and it's more common to work remotely from home. And that's led to needing to find ways to be more active at home, which has led to the rise in popularity of walking pads. That's why in today's video, we're gonna be taking a look at the Merach W50 Trek Pad. And as a quick note, as we're getting into the review, if you want to check this out, there's a link down in the description. If you use the link, it helps the channel, doesn't cost you anything extra. The Merach W50 Trek Pad packs quite a punch, considering that it's relatively compact and relatively inexpensive. It has a 1.5 horsepower motor with a 3.5 horsepower peak output, and that's typically what you're gonna see in more commercial treadmills. Merach W50 Trek Pad is a great example of how big things can sometimes come in small, compact packages. And this has a 10-hour max runtime. So I don't know about you, I'm never gonna run until this thing overheats. And it's not terribly heavy either. If you don't work out at all, you've never lifted a weight in your life, it might be a tiny bit on the heavy side, but I don't foresee many people having a problem moving this unit. And it has a relatively sizable walking deck on it. It is 16.5 inches wide by 40.75 inches long, and it has a weight capacity of 400 pounds. The maximum speed is 4 miles an hour, and there are 13 incline adjustments going from 0 all the way up to 12% incline, which I thought was pretty interesting because 15 is what you're typically gonna see on a very high dollar commercial treadmill. So I thought 12% incline is actually pretty great for a walking pad. But enough about the specs, let's actually talk about using this thing. One thing that I do like is it has this nifty little remote, so you can make adjustments while you're walking. That's pretty standard issue for walking pads. But one thing that I did find pretty interesting, because of course I don't read the instructions because I'm a guy, I saw that there is a picture of a remote on the deck there. And I was like, I guess you're supposed to put the remote there? How's it gonna stay? It's like, is it magnetic or something? And sure enough, it's magnetic. And so when you put the remote there, it's not gonna get lost when you go to move the unit around. So I thought that was pretty cool. But let's hop on. And here we go. Now I will point out that there are 15 predefined programs on here to choose from. But generally speaking, when I hop on a treadmill, I just hop on and start going until I'm done. So let's go ahead and just show you. We'll jack it all the way up to 12% here. Give it a moment to raise itself all the way up. And then I'm gonna just, for funsies, go ahead and jack it up all the way to 4 miles an hour while we're at it. And it does go in 0.1 mile per hour increments. And so at 4 miles an hour, you can see, you know, it's kind of a slow jog, I guess we would call it. I know it's called a Trek Pad, or most people would call them walking pads, but you can get a little bit of a jog in on here, and you can see, even at max incline, this thing is actually extremely stable. I don't know what it looks like in the camera, because I've not reviewed the footage yet, but it feels rock solid. And if you want more home gym equipment reviews, subscribe to the channel to get more videos like this. Now you can see that this unit is just in the corner of the room here. I didn't move it out to some scenic location to record my walking pad review. I left it right here on purpose because this is where it stays. This is in our bedroom. There's the TV right there. And so I feel like this is realistically how most people are gonna use it. It's probably gonna be right beside their bed, or they might roll it like under the couch and then pull it out and they'll use it in the living room when they're watching TV in the living room. Realistically, that's what most people are gonna do, is try to have a way to get a little bit of cardio in while they watch TV. Now, what was supposed to happen is I was supposed to take this to my office. This was supposed to be under my desk. I have a standing desk, and I was going to walk while working. However, my wife has claimed it as her own, and it has never seen my office. It's never been in my office. It's been right here next to my wife's side of the bed for the entirety of the time that we've owned it. And as a little insert here, apologies to Merach, because they sent me this thing like 3 or 4 months ago for review. So sorry guys, but as a quick rapid fire list of some of the things that's happened in that meantime, we finished building our house, we moved into the house, we had crawl space issues with the house. Link has been sick like 3 times because he started school for the first time. Tracy's been sick a couple times. I've been sick once. We had some AC issues. We were out of town for a little while. I had to hire another employee for the company and many other things that I won't bore you with. But anyways, all that said, this thing has been here for quite a bit, though my wife has gotten a lot more use out of it than I have. I don't have a ton of experience with a whole plethora of different walking pad units, and I can confidently tell you that this unit is significantly better than the one that I have in my office. I can't remember the name of the brand of the one I have in my office off the top of my head, but this one is significantly better. The one I have there is one of those where it folds in half. Don't get one of those. Unless you just absolutely have to have that tiny extra bit of compactness that you get from one of those folding units, you don't want one of those. Get a solid unit like this Merach W50 Trek Pad because it's faster to set up, it's stronger, and you get the ability to incline it, whereas a folding unit, you can't incline it because there's a break in the middle, and so you can't lift it off the ground. It has to be flat on the ground. So there's so many cons to a folding unit that unless you live in like a studio apartment or something and you have to be able to fold it in half so that you can stick it in the back of a tiny closet or something, don't get one of those. Get a unit like this. 2 other very beneficial things. You can see I have the unit running right now and I'm standing on the side rails. A lot of Trek pads, walking pads, don't have side step rails. You either have to stop it and then wait for it to stop to step off, or you kind of have to do one of those numbers like this and you have to hop off the side because you don't have the option to be able to stand on the rails. And the other thing that I want to point out is I've had this running for several minutes while I've been talking, and I'm just doing that so that you can hear how quiet this unit is. It is at 2.5 miles per hour right now. It's relatively quiet. Even at maximum speed, it is relatively quiet. And then whenever you want to store this thing away, play some waiting music while I ride this thing down. Plop it down on the magnet, unplug it from the wall. There's a leather wrapped handle on the back. Pick it up, roll it away, but not really, because we're not done talking. As I mentioned at the beginning, this thing packs a punch, especially for the price tag. It kind of comes in around middle of the road pricing, maybe a tiny bit under middle of the road pricing. I typically see walking pads anywhere from like $250 up to like $1,000. Of course, you can get them more expensive than that, but that's kind of the average range. And then this one, of course, the price can vary if it's on sale and all that good stuff. But I typically see this thing anywhere from like $300 to $450. So somewhere right around that $400 mark, or maybe a little bit low is generally where I see it. And good news for you guys, if you want to check this thing out for yourself, Merach did give me a 10% off coupon code that you can use. Simply use code Treadaway and that will get you 10% off. Factoring in the coupon code and where the price typically tends to sit, that's going to put you at around $350 for this thing. And the final question to answer, I guess, is how does this actually translate into getting more activity? How much does this actually make a difference? And of course, that's going to vary from person to person, but from my own experience, since putting a walking pad in my office, I would say that my step count has gone up maybe an average of a couple thousand steps a day. You know, factoring in some days I might not use it, some days I might use it more than others, but if you just average that out across the week, it's about an extra couple thousand steps. And so factoring that into an entire year, we're talking like an extra 100,000 steps in a year. So if you're someone who works from home, might want to check one of these out. Or maybe if you would like to walk more, but where you live at, walking outdoors isn't necessarily safe because of the road conditions or something like that, grab one of these and walk while you watch TV. Easy way to add extra activity to your day. Again, if you want to check this out, click the link down in the description. As always, God bless you and your family, and we'll see you next week. Give it all she's got, Captain. It's more common for people to watch movie and watch TV. Or why can't I get the word? Like, hey.